Lena Harper had always believed in the sanctity of family and the trust that marriage was supposed to bring. She was a newlywed, married for just a month, when her perfect life started to unravel. One early morning, Lena awoke to find her husband, David, absent from their bed. Confused, she wandered through their home, her heart pounding with an inexplicable sense of dread. As she approached the darkened living room, she saw David sitting alone, his phone clutched in his hand, whispering into it with a voice filled with urgency. The room was dim, the only light coming from the phone's screen, casting eerie shadows across David's face. Lena turned on the light, startling David, who jumped and quickly ended the call, his face drained of color. "Who were you talking to at this hour?" Lena asked, her voice trembling with suspicion. David stammered, "No one. It was just a wrong number." But Lena wasn't convinced. From that moment on, a seed of doubt took root in her mind, growing with every late-night phone call David took. He began slipping out of bed regularly, always whispering into his phone at the same time every night. Lena, driven by a mixture of fear and curiosity, decided to investigate. She began trailing David, listening in on his hushed conversations. One night, she heard something that made her blood run cold. He mentioned a name she knew all too well, Chloe, her younger sister. Lena's world began to spin. Could David be having an affair with someone who shared the same name as her sister? Her mind refused to believe the possibility, but her heart couldn't ignore the growing suspicions. The pieces began to fall into place during a visit to her mother's house. Lena noticed Chloe behaving strangely, avoiding eye contact and keeping her distance. When Chloe received a call, she excused herself and walked away, speaking quietly into the phone before disappearing into a room and shutting the door behind her. Overcome with dread, Lena followed Chloe, pressing her ear against the door. Her worst fears were confirmed when she heard Chloe mention David's name, her voice filled with affection. The shock and betrayal were overwhelming. Lena couldn't believe that her own sister, the person she had trusted the most, could be involved with her husband. Determined to uncover the truth, Lena began digging deeper into their relationship. She noticed subtle glances between them, secretive smiles, and an undercurrent of tension whenever they were together. The tension reached its peak when Lena confronted David, accusing him of having an affair with Chloe. David denied it vehemently, but his lies were transparent. Desperate to keep the truth hidden, he tried to gaslight Lena, making her doubt her sanity. But Lena was relentless. She tracked their movements, intercepted their messages, and finally, she caught them red-handed. The confrontation was explosive. Chloe, cornered and ashamed, broke down, admitting everything. David had seduced Chloe during one of Lena's absences, exploiting her vulnerabilities. Their affair had been going on for months, right under Lena's nose. The betrayal cut Lena deeply, and the pain was unbearable. She couldn't bear to stay in the same house, to see their faces every day. In a final act of betrayal, David divorced Lena and married Chloe, severing all ties with her. Lena was left alone, betrayed by the two people she had loved and trusted the most. She retreated into the solitude of her apartment, the place David had left her as a twisted parting gift, a silent reminder of the life she had lost. Lena's world had been shattered, but she vowed never to let herself be a victim again. The scars of betrayal would never fully heal, but they would serve as a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked behind the facade of love and trust.